lots more to come from here in Philadelphia on the College Football Postgame Show presented by Rocket Mortgage. Rick, BJ, and I will talk about Malcolm Perry's huge role in helping Navy win back the Commander-in-Chief's trophy right after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports College Football Postgame Show is presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Navy taking back the Commander-in-Chief's trophy by the final score of 31-7 over Army. They'd walk it back to Annapolis if they had to, but they don't. Tonight on CBS is a night of holiday classics. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, and Frosty Returns, followed by 48 Hours. Tonight, only CBS. Welcome to the College Football Postgame Show presented by Rocket Mortgage, everyone. I'm Adam Zucker, and it is great to be rejoined once again by Ricky the Red-Nosed Neuheisel.
And our Mad Hatter.
Hey. And Brian Jones as well. And we heard Malcolm Perry with Jamie a few minutes ago. He made sure that he left Navy with a win over Army.
He was superb from the beginning of this game to the end. No one had an answer for him, faking the pass, finding some running lanes. He's so elusive, and then once he finds that lane, he has that burst to scoot through and take it to the house, Rick.
Clearly the player of the game. It was Malcolm up the middle, Malcolm to the left, Malcolm to the right. 304 yards, an all-time record in this game.
Yeah, an Army-Navy game record for Malcolm Perry. Over 300 rushing yards on the ground and over three-quarters of what Navy did on the ground. And Army couldn't convert a third down after that early touchdown drive.
Well, what stands out to me, 123 rush yards there, but it was all about Malcolm Perry. He got it done with his legs, and everyone knew coming to this ball game you had to stop him. He averaged 134 yards on the ground per game. He had 154 at halftime, so that was just a little tease for what else to come here in the second half.
And no dimension required. He didn't have to throw a pass today. When they obviously passing situations, he just put on the jets and ran around everybody, as you can see here. Quarterback draw more often than not. Didn't have to throw a ball. That's an amazing performance.
And what a great feeling for him. This was he's part of a senior class that came here when Navy had a 14-game winning streak in this great rivalry, and they had been 0-3. And again, sets the record for the Army-Navy game and hits the single-season rushing record at Navy, too.
A testament to Coach Ken Niumatalolo. He catered this offense to Malcolm Perry. A year ago, this guy was much maligned. He couldn't hang on to the football. He really didn't fit into the option scheme that they were incorporating. He went to slot back, and they couldn't find his rhythm in this offense. And this year, totally different football player.
And remember, the American Conference honored him as the Offensive Player of the Year, and with these numbers, he's now at 1,804 yards rushing. That's off the charts.
Off the charts. And you know what? Look, the first touchdown Navy scored tied the game. Their defense is what turned this into a rout, PJ.
Well, we talked about Springer in that first half. Well, we should have talked about Jackson Pittman as well. Here's a young man from the first play stuffing the run to the last play for Army, stuffing the run on the fourth down play. This young man comes from Tennessee, had 3 different position coaches during his tenure there at the Naval Academy. He said all 3 taught him something. You know, one taught him fundamentals and technique. The other taught him how to recognize schemes and what they were trying to do to him. The last coach taught him that effort. You know, keep fighting all 4 quarters, and he embodied all that coaching, and we saw it today.
Whoever taught him to change the line of scrimmage deserves a raise too, because he changed it almost every time. They no longer two-gap, meaning making him read. He was able to attack, and he was a yard deep almost every down.
That's what Brian Newberry brought to this defense. He simplified everything. They wanted chaotic, aggressive, reckless defense, and that's what you've seen all season long.
Yeah, he looked like Derek Brown from Auburn, and he had that final denial on their Army 4th down, stuffing that run. And again, the celebration continues here on the field for the Navy midshipmen taking home the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. Look, you know, they're going to have a bowl game, Liberty Bowl. They're playing for the American Athletic Conference now, too. That's the trophy that matters more than anything to these guys.
That's the lifetime of memories right there. That's the one they'll remember for the rest of their lives. They'll be in the stands. How many generals did we stand next to on this sideline? These guys will remember this forever, and what a wonderful memory it is.
This is their Super Bowl, no matter what the record is. You come in here, sitting at 5-7 and have had just a horrific season, and yet if you can win this one, that takes all that pain away and adds a lot of shine to your football season. So Navy ends the 3-game winning streak of Army, and we'll go on to next year and see who gets it then.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny the way they were walking. You saw United States Air Force Academy. They had an amazing season too.
Right.
10 wins and almost beat Navy. Haven't lost since their loss to Navy, but it is the midshipmen who are taking that thing home to Annapolis tonight. We're not done. A look ahead to tonight's Heisman Trophy presentation when we return. Welcome back. A reminder, the road to the Final Four continues on CBS next Saturday with the CBS Sports Classic. UCLA and number 17 North Carolina tip off a doubleheader at 3 Eastern, followed by a top 10 clash, number 3 Ohio State and number 8 Kentucky. Love this event every year. And over on CBS Sports Network at 7 Eastern, it's Stanford and San Jose State. And also tonight, in a matter of really minutes, we're going to know who the Heisman Trophy winner is. You got 2 Buckeyes, and you got Joe Burrow, and you got Jalen Hurts. And every time I say Joe Burrow, he smiles like that. Yeah.
Well, I feel like I already know who the Heisman Trophy winner is. I know there's a presentation still to come, but Joe Burrow was absolutely fantastic. When you think that he was a 57% passer a year ago and look at these numbers, and then add the fact that he was a 16-touchdown pass guy a year ago and 48 this year, it's easy to say Burrow's your guy.
Right. He rewrote the history books, not only there in Baton Rouge, but also in the SEC with those numbers. But, those other guys were outstanding, and they're going to be recognized. But I think it's a foregone conclusion that Joe Burrow wins this award. He has a great supporting cast. I love the way he manipulates defenders. And this play last week, what a Heisman moment. The numerous Georgia Bulldogs finding Justin Jefferson down the field. The guy's just had a splendid football season.
And he's been magnanimous. He realizes that he's got an unbelievable cast of characters. Yeah. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, even Thaddeus Moss, his tight end, has been terrific. He understands that he's got what he needs, but he has been Johnny on the spot all season long in terms of getting the Bayou Bengals to the right play.
Yeah, and the right place is New Orleans for the national championship, perhaps against his former teammates from Ohio State. Meantime, there is coaching news today, and it involves the Buckeyes. Their defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley, announced as the new head coach at Boston College, but he's going to try to do 2 jobs for the next month or so. What's the name that either surprised you the most or impresses you the most on this list?
Well, I love Mike Norvell to Florida State. What he got done at Memphis was really incredible. Obviously, a very, very prolific offense. This year, they played fantastic defense. Remember, his defensive coordinator ended up going to Georgia. Yeah. Coach Lanning there at Georgia, who had a great season. And he's also been fantastic at picking assistant coaches. I think Florida State got the right guy.
And coaching quarterbacks, man, because they've had some turnover there. Lane Kiffin stands out. How could it not? Returning to the SEC, 2 conference championships in the Conference USA, and he's fielded some prolific scoring football teams. What did they post on UAB just last week? I mean, this guy can flat out coach. We know that. It's all the ancillary activities you have to concern yourself with. But I think he goes in there and he has a quarterback in Plumlee. We've seen this young man torch some defenses in the SEC West this season. So I think that one's going to be something we'll be desperately focusing on.
Yeah, and it wasn't so long ago that Kenny Amadalolo and Jeff Monken at Army were talked about as where they're going to go next, But the 2 of them have done their job to raise this rivalry to new heights in these last few years. So we still have the Sun Bowl, Tony the Tiger.
Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Tiger Sun Bowl. We still have the college football playoff to get ready for. I can't believe it's already December despite our attire. This season has flown by, guys.
You just promoted the road to the Final Four in basketball. I feel like I'm on the road to perdition with you in that hat. But this has been a road of quarterbacks.
Yes.
What an unbelievable year of quarterbacks with Jalen Hurts having the season at Oklahoma. We just talked about Burrow. Justin Fields transferred from Georgia to Ohio State. They're all going to put on a show here in the coming weeks. But it has been a fabulous year for quarterbacks, and Malcolm Perry just put an exclamation point.
It has shown a bright light on the transfer portal. Everyone's going to be dipping into that new recruiting pool, if you will, to find different different players, whether or not it's a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, someone who can help elevate the player of their team and get them to that next step, whether that's a conference championship or playing for a national title.
And some of them did it immediately, like Justin Fields at Ohio State. Immediate eligibility. Jalen Hurts as well.
They're all hoping they hit a home run like those teams.
And it's 3 of the 4 guys in the playoff are transfer quarterbacks.
I miss it already.
Yeah, indeed. We thank you for watching the College Football Postgame Show presented by Rocket Mortgage. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on CBS. A reminder, kick off your New Year's Eve party early on CBS with the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl at 2 Eastern as Florida State faces Arizona State in El Paso. And the NFL on CBS continues tomorrow with regional action. Many will see the Texans and Titans, and it all gets started at noon Eastern with the NFL Today. For all of us in Philly, congratulations to Navy.